Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach and welcome to the preview for this week. Thanks for everyone who got around the live sesh throughout the week. Always good fun, and that was another good one. Wednesday, sort of 7:30 seems to be our locked-in spot. So, if you haven't dropped in already, you definitely should. But we're going to start with just a confession. You got to own your mistakes in this world and in this game. And Errol Goulden, you got me, mate. You fucking got me. You have been up there with the Josh Caddies of the world when I said he'd be a top 6 forward. Up there with the Christian Salems when I said he would be a top 6 to 8 defender all pre-season. Up there with Shorty trading out a young Paddy Cripps for a more reliable Nathan Van Berlo. It's one of the howlers and has come back to bite me on the ass. Just quickly, I will walk you through my thought process. Never been a premium before, unproven. Just brings him in round 3. So for me, he gives me 85, 102, 88, and then 47, which I watched live. Didn't look that good. Out on a wing, his CBAs have declined to 0. Meanwhile, Stephen Cornelio at a decent price. Shorty thinks, boom, nice little trade. Won't do me much damage. I never ruled out Goulden responding and being solid. I never, ever thought back-to-back 156s. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that was possible, and he has stuck it right up me. We'll laugh about it in time, but at the moment it is fucking pissing me off. They're just those decisions. I can live with getting premiums wrong that you start with, and I can live with rookies going bad because they're inconsistent by nature. They're just young lads. But trading out guys that you don't think are premiums and then they respond in a ridiculous manner and you lose out against most other rivals in the top 10k. Rant over. Let's look at the teams, shall we? Not many trades this week either for me. I've got a few notes here from the live sesh. So we'll talk about Darcy Cameron. Matty Kennedy was mentioned. Zach Merrett, Sammy Walsh talked about a fair bit. Got Merrett in there twice, don't I? And then just a few of the rookies. A few of the rookies talk about. So we'll go through a few bits and pieces. But just be kind to me. If a few of you bought Teakle in, you'll be disappointed to see him out. Should be a cracking game Friday night too. How about Clarko? Wowee, that was crazy scenes. I just, seemed out of the blue. And wow, look at this. A lot of outs for North. Most of them injured, actually. I thought maybe they'd come in and swung the axe a bit, but old mate Will Phillips comes in. How you doing? Wardlaw comes in. That's handy. And Aaron Hall comes in. I wonder. I don't think it'll affect too much because he has played already this year, but Callum Mills, that would have hurt a few of his last week. Nothing too much to get concerned about there. No trade there, no change there. Jai Clark is out. That's no good. Duncan. So the Cats get a few back, but we also lose a few. Constable may never play again. And there you go. Tom Berry is dropped. I thought that was a fair chance, and I mentioned that on the live session. He is out. Hopper, of course, will hurt a few. Setterfield will also hurt a few. I think I had him on the notes there. May as well write Hopper in there too because they're relatively similar price. No damage there. This will be a ripper game. Harvey Harrison, never heard of that bloke in my life, but that should be a ripper game. Yes, good. Jack Steele, not named as an out. Fully understanding that he's on the extended bench and it is a Sunday game, so I reckon they probably don't even quite know if he's going to play just yet, but it's positive for now. So let's dive in, and first things first, let's talk some rookies because the rookies have been a disaster for us, mate. We bring guys in, they get injured, they score like shit, or they look like finally some promising rookies, Chincotta or Mitchell, and they've found ways to throw in ones. I understand that it is the nature of rookies, like I said before, but normally we have a bit more love. Normally there's a little bit more on the bench. I mean, is this not the saddest bench you've ever seen in your life? There is minimal coin on there and minimal generation. Wow. minimal of my voice came out then, but minimal generation of cash on that bench. But let's not fully lose control here, I think. So let's bring up the rookies. Let's just go. You got Sharp. Merrett was talked about. Humphreys was talked about. And I think Berry was talked about. I feel like Drury. Yeah. So Humphreys is my clear main guy. Yes, you got to pay up. And these rookie decisions should almost be decided by your premiums. How does that make sense? Well, if you need that extra 100k that a Drury or a Sharp could offer you, and that's the difference from you getting like, I don't know, a really low-end rookie, which I heard a lot of people talking in the midfield, like, do I get De Goey or Chad Warner, as opposed to getting like Sam Walsh or Rory Laird, then you've answered your own rookie question. Drury, who knows how long he'll play for. He's not going to score that well. Yeah, we get a lot of cash on the way down because he's 102. His price point's about the best thing about him. There isn't too much else to really get excited about. Sharp, I don't know. A bit of talk about when Daniel Rich comes back, and I don't think I saw him in the team. Bit of talk when he comes back. Wilmot will move more to a wing, and that'll probably force Sharp out. So, was Richie Boy named? No. So I don't like his job security. He's dished out 2 solid scores, so I guess we can make hay while the sun shines with that, but I don't really like the longevity. And Merrett, I don't see any real point. I don't really see his job security as good. I see him inconsistent from a scoring point of view, and he's not cheap. So I don't think he really fills the value or the scoring that you might pay for a more higher end rookie. I think Humphreys could be a really nice option. Now the fact is that he is a high pick. I feel like the Suns will want to play him, want to get time into him. Probably going to have to get used to spelling his name properly too. But yeah, last week's game and even the week before showed some nice things, and I just think I'm always happy to back in talent. I'm always happy to back it in. Like, there's a lot of upside for this kid, so I think he'll be my one trade. Probably just for Davey. It's a bit annoying, but yeah, I mean, all I would have liked is maybe Davey just scores 30, doesn't get the sub, just plateaus on his price, but no, he had to fucking drop below 200k if rookies just weren't going well enough anyway. But so that's the way I'm going in terms of trades. In terms of VC and that, like, you just can't go past Clary. I'm feeling like Oliver, he doesn't go too long without a 150 plus, like at least 140 plus. It's not too many rounds in between 140 plus drinks. So I reckon Clary might just go bang tomorrow night. Big game. He'll get up for it. I'm backing him in for a 145 plus for Clayton. So the VC on him. And if that doesn't fire, then maybe I'm heading to Ballarat for Dawson or Bont. Again, hard to go past those guys. But Dacos on Sunday is also another thought of mine. But yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Because yeah, it's a good round coming up. I feel like last week's round was a bit like, most of the games probably go the way you expect. This round, there's a few interesting ones. But let's dive back into taking a look at a few of these fellas. My thoughts on Darcy Cameron. I'm happy to wait a week. So he is in that unique spot of being a big bloke, coming back, under 500k, but also that break even is ready to boom, like it's 55. So in theory, it sort of feels like the decision where, well, it has to be this week or no. I'm happy to not do that. I'm happy to wait a week. If it costs me 25k, if you're considering him, then so be it. It's a solid investment because he's a big bloke coming back from a few weeks off. Mason Cox is in great form. You know, there could be a 50-50 split, or they could just say, you know, look, Das, just, you know, if we get on top of the Blues pretty easily early on, like, just play predominantly forward, like, there might be some sort of chance. He may not. He might come back and go 120 plus, pick up where he left off. If he did, then I'll say, well, fair enough. But I'm happy to have missed out on that little bit of extra bargain price just to have a look at it, because I'd hate to have the alternative of, well, we thought Cox might ruck a bit more. We thought they might ease a big bloke back in. But I still went with him. Fuck, he scored 67. God damn. So I'm happy to just try and minimise some of the risk there and wait a week. Matt Kennedy, I don't see any reason to bring him in. I know there was a bit of thought of like finish the game off really well when he was sub. Solid score last week, but the bloke's never really shown any great ability over any real stretch of time. I know last year he was good, but he, without being a Carlton supporter, he feels like a bit of a whipping boy. Like, I know last week or last year was a great average, but started the year well. But then look at this. I mean, that run of 4 games, and I know some were sub-affected, but worries me that he's kind of on the fringe. I don't see any need to go with him. If he was like 200s in the 200,000s, maybe, but the price doesn't add up, the break even doesn't add up, and he's only turned up once this year, so it's a no from me. We touched on those lads. Oh, Weddle, yeah, talking about him, like, he's solid as well. I didn't bring him into the other conversation because they were more sort of midfield forward types, but yeah, Weddle, pretty solid. I think he's a popular inclusion, so understandable. Setterfield and Hopper, I think your option is really to either go down to Humphreys or go up to, depending how much cash you have, a Walsh or a Laird or whatever it might be, Petrarca, depending how much cash you have. Or if you want to wind it back a bit, Merrett's at a bit nicer of a price. Lockie Neal, I'd probably wait one more week if you can. I still think Neal and Paddy Cripps, they're guns. And I know they've started the year maybe not at their absolute best, but we could pick them up for like $550k, maybe less in 1 to 2 weeks. When rookie cash is hard to come by, I reckon I'll be snapping up Cripps and Neal in the next couple of weeks. So I think that's the way I'd go with those guys. Merrett versus Walsh. If I had to pick one, I would go Walsh. I reckon they're about the same sort of output, but I just slightly lean towards Walsh. Also the fact that he could be a forward, so those percentages are very interesting. I think he needs to put together 45% forward time over the next 2 weeks, so that's 22.5% each game on average. So that may happen, but I wouldn't bank on it. Like, he might play 2 games 90% midfield. I just don't know. But at this stage, if you're a betting man, you'd say forward status is looking good. Same with Petrarca. He's right on that edge. But yeah, I think you bring in Walsh. If he gets forward status, you beauty. Even better. If he doesn't, well, I think he's a top 10 midfielder. That's no disrespect to Merrett. If you bring in Merrett in, no dramas at all. I think he's a gun. Stewart, yeah, I'm all about him. Had a few people saying, oh, do I bring him in versus a Walsh or a Merrett? Absolutely. I prefer Stewart, to be honest. I think the other bloke's a top 10 to 12 mids, but Stewart's a top 2 to 3 defender and will probably spend most of his time further into the 600k mark than 601. And just finally on Libba, I mean, I don't really want to endorse it. Like, he's playing great footy, but he is 31, and his last 3 years, if we're going to go a sample size, say he averages between 100 and 106, which is okay. But I feel like this start of the year is a bit of a hot patch. We talk about Neal and Cripps being maybe slightly off. I think he's on. He started well, but I do think it levels itself out over 22 rounds. I could be wrong. He could be back to 2014 Libba. Kingy was pumping him up on the watch list, or Joey, whoever it was. I'm happy to just steer clear. I know he's had some really hot games, round 4 last week, and even round 6, but I'm happy. I sort of still see, if you said, Shorty, what's he going to average for the rest of the year? I'd probably say 104, 106, So I don't really feel like bringing him in over 600k is the go. But that's just my humble opinion. I traded out Goulden, so take it as you please. But we're going to wrap it up there. Just a little casual chat over the teams today. I don't feel as much urgency to trade. Look, I know the last couple of weeks have been poor for Shorty SuperCoach, but I feel reasonably happy with where the team is at. I only really need to upgrade 4 players. There's a few premiums that maybe aren't your top tier, but in the short term, 4 upgrades should still have me with about 7 or 8 trades. That's pretty solid. So I've got a few blokes in mind over the next few weeks, so just happy to have a bit of cash in the bank to go bang bang, hopefully over the next 2 to 3 weeks. But all the best this week. I don't think I'm doing much over the weekend, so it's a pretty quiet one for Shorty. But if you are getting up to some shenanigans, enjoy. Have a drink for Shorty, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers, guys.